The next section is on relationships. This is one of the sections that I think a lot of people value very much. We have a bunch of people in the world, about almost 8 billion, and there are always going to be someone around you. I don't think there's many places in the world that's not populated, and people generally live in societies that makes them strong. So you're always going to have a relationship with someone. Well, people come from other people, so uh, we actually have children, and that's how we procreate. So we are then creating relationships between two people. Those people then have children. They create in a relationship between the children and themselves. Those children grow up and form a relationship with other people their own age or people greater ages than them. So the relationship aspect keeps on building up on each other, and there's always relationships and connections to other people. Okay, so first of all, we want to connect to the person, we want to focus on them, and then we want to bring in other people into the mix and then see what happens. So I've got two mannequins. I'm not really concerned, what they are. They're pretty much faceless right now. So I just want to understand, okay, well, this is the person. I have other people bringing into their lives. I just want to see what happens between this person and other persons generically. What is the interaction between them and other people? Okay, when people ask about the specific relationship, we'll get into that later on, not right now. This is just to see, okay, well, this person says, oh, I want to know more about relationships, and then we could say, well, I want to see what the person's relationship or how this sitter generally relates to other people. What is the connection like? What are the dynamics? And then I want to also understand more about that. We can then look at the person generically and say, okay, well, they connect heart to people, and I see there's a movement of energy towards someone else, and then they have like certain things that they say, they speak to the person, they have thoughts about the person, but then we don't really see much from someone else. So we basically look at us at how do they connect to people outside of themselves. What are the dynamics between them and the person? They have ideas about other people. They have things they say about other people. They like to communicate. They like to think about other people. They like to energetically connect to other people. So we have that. And then we want to see, well, what is the back and forwards between them and other people in general. The person has a connection, a strong connection to someone else, and then we see a really weak line coming back. And typically we would see something like this on our reading screen. So we'd bring up two people and we'd say, okay, well, I see a strong energetic connection. I see a lot of flow towards other people, but I see very little flow or disrupted flow coming back to you. So you are putting a lot of things out in the world, but you're not getting much back. So is it balanced? No, we have a disconnection between this person and that, in the way that this person gives a lot but doesn't get a lot back. And then we can say, well, show me what happens. Why is this? I want to see on my reading screen, what is the problem? What is happening with these two people? What are the ideas that they have about this relationship aspect regarding other people, and why is it that they're not getting so much back? They could have maybe that they don't really trust other people, they don't really think that other people are there to do something for them. They are very strong within themselves. They will love to do things for other people, but then they don't know how to expect something for themselves. They don't know how to get things for them. They don't know how to accept. So this could be a problem. And then we say, well, what can they improve? Then we say, okay, well, I want energy to be equal. So we had the role playing situation where we now could go and say, okay, well, I'm going to bring in the ideal situation. So I'm going to bring a person in. I'm going to make the energy stream of both going out and coming in the same. What needs to change? So I can then say, okay, well, what does this person need to change in order to give out that energy to someone and get the same back? Oh, okay, well, I see that this person is avoiding to that person, or I'm seeing, okay, well, this person actually turning their back on this person. The ideal situation, but they refusing that energy. They're not wanting it. Okay, you need to accept things from other people. You need to understand that you need to accept something from someone in order for them to give something to you. If they're trying to give you something and you're not taking it, they cannot give it to you physically. That they would not feel good in giving you something that you don't want. Okay, so you have to have somebody wanting something in order for someone to be able to give it to them. So we can then see that, okay, this is when the person turns away. Whatever plays out on our reading screen, we want to then give to the person. So we bring up on our reading screen the two people, see how they interact, we see what the connection is energetically between them, we have a look at how the communication is between them, and then we bring the ideal in, and we want to see, okay, well, what do they need? What do they need to improve on? And say, for instance, a person wants a partner in their lives, and we can say, well, what does the person need? Oh, this person really needs someone to take care of certain things that they want. They want to maybe feel loved, or they want to feel the need for security. They want to, they're struggling right now because they're renting a place. They want to have a place of their own, and they can't afford it themselves. So when they enter into a partnership with someone, they can then afford a place to live, or whether they then rent together with a friend or whatever the case is. They then get together, they can rent a bigger place, or they can buy a place together with someone else, and they can actually live a better, more secure life. They wouldn't have to move because now they're unsure whether they're going to move or not. So this is dynamics that happen between people, and then I can improve my life, or I can change my situation by entering into a relationship with a person, have a exchange between energies between me and that person, whether it's money or services or agreements or whatever the case is, and then I can then improve the life of the sitter by doing certain things, or bringing certain people into their lives to change it. So relationships in general, people can change their situation by bringing different people in. They can connect to people in different ways. They can change their habits around people. They can balance out the energetic exchanges between them and people. And we want to bring that up on our reading screens, and we want to bring the two different parties in and see what happens between them, and then give a report. Again, we're there to comment, we're there to be objective, and then we give the information to the reader or the sitter. We want to observe what happens. We want to be impartial to whatever happens. We want to see what happens between the two people, see the dynamics between them, see what they need, and then we then give them the information. We say, okay, well, here, this is what we see. On my reading screen, I see that this is the situation. I put you in this situation. I put you in that situation. I saw this happen. I saw this happen. I ask what the ideal is. I see that when I put you in the ideal situation, that this is what you do. When I want you to be more into your own and have a better situation at the end, that's what happened. And then they can then deal with that information. They can take action in their own lives if they feel the need to, or they can ignore it completely and blame everyone if they want to as well. It's up to them. But you just report basically on what you see play off on your reading screen as far as them and other people are concerned in general.